welcome back to Straight Facts. Loads to talk about today with Premier League football almost back with it. It's going to be an epic weekend with some huge clashes. Newcastle hosting Tottenham, Liverpool going to Tottenham, a big test for Arsenal at Goodison. But it's not Goodison Park anymore, is it? It's their new stadium, to which I don't know the name, but they're going to Everton anyway. So some big tests there, plus Man United versus Aston Villa as well. We're looking at some transfer news also as the Semenyo deal heats up. Some outlets reporting a deal between parties could already be agreed. All that and much more. I'm joined by the boys. It's Wednesday afternoon. Judge Mo's here. Don Husam is in the house. How are you, gentlemen?
Happy birthday, number one, Terry. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. Big old Terry is catching up to the 30s, of course. Big up, Terry.
That's my age now. That's my new mug that I got today. You see that? There you go.
Some happy birthday, people in the chat. Come on now. And if you're watching this on the replay, make sure to put a comment. Don't make Terry happy. Happy birthday in the comment, guys.
Terry turns 52 today. Happy birthday, Terry. Happy birthday. سنة حلوة يا جميل. سنة حلوة يا جميل. سنة حلوة. سنة حلوة. سنة حلوة يا جميل.
Thank you. Appreciate it, gentlemen. I appreciate it. And yet, turning 45, turning 52. Look at that. 40, no grey, no receding hairline. I'm happy, man. I'm happy. So thank you all for the birthday wishes as well. Where do we start today? We're not going to start with Man United because that winds you boys up, and I had a lot to say about Man United the last year. Unless there's something on
we can start with one simple thing. See, Darren Bent yesterday actually did on Talk Sport. He did a list of the midfielders that are better than Bruno Fernandes in the history of the Premier League. But forget that list. We came up yesterday with a list, and Husam made
short list.
He said 15 midfielders, but that's not the point. Husam yesterday genuinely made a list of players that are ahead of Paul Scholes in the history of the Premier League midfielders.
Look at
Paul Scholes came number 23rd for him, Terry. 23rd yesterday. I swear to God, bro, Husam, you know that.
It's his birthday, Terry. It's his birthday, Mo. Don't trigger him on his birthday.
The thing about it that he mentioned Terry, he said, if Terry hears this, oh my God. And he started counting midfielders, and it's 23rd. But anyway,
you know what's funny about that? Mo was on the same show, and he's trying to act like he's innocent.
No, but I'm gonna tell you the reality about it. It's all about Declan Rice. It started with Declan Rice, and people saying that where does Declan Rice rank in the history of the midfielders? The reason why, because there's a trending clip that's after the overlap with someone saying that Declan Rice.
That's the actual Darren Bent clip he's talking about, by the way.
Like, it's top 5 to top 10 midfielders in the history of the Premier League. And we started dissecting this. But anyway, for Arsenal, bro, this is something that is, you need to actually do better now.
Do you know what, right? Just very quickly on it. I don't care for the list too much in the sense of people are entitled to their opinions. But I listened to something, I read something that Rio Ferdinand said that the players of his generation and beyond maybe wouldn't be as respected, revered, and praised as highly if they played now. And I actually agree with him to a large point. Look, players back in that era took criticism. What Beckham went through after the 1998 World Cup was horrendous. Like, as much as a lot of bad media coverage for players now, they literally took an effigy, gave it to a pub and got them to hang it outside, then took photos going, look, the public are hanging dummies of Beckham. That's how crazy they were. But it's the scrutiny that players go through now. Bruno did an interview yesterday where he spoke about some of his issues at United, but he jokingly made a point about Bernardo Silva. And he said Bernardo Silva essentially moans more than he does. He just doesn't wave his arms in the air. And I do agree. I think that I would love, if I had a magic wand, one little experiment I would do is to take the football we grew up watching with the legends that we love, like John Terry, Scholes, Gerrard, and their exact careers play out, their great games and their bad games, their mistakes and everything play out in the peak of the social media era. I wonder which of those players would come through with the same reputation as they have without social media, because I think that some might be better, some might be worse. We don't know the answers. Everyone's going to have an opinion on it. I think with Bruno Fernandes, he's been an excellent player in a bad time for Man United. He is a moaner. He is a whinger. But I know moaners and whingers are considered some of the greatest athletes and winners of all time. It's just that there isn't enough trophies to back up the way he behaves, most likely. Equally, I don't think he moans more than your average bear. I don't think he complains more than most other players do. But there we go.
That's because you're a Man United fan. I actually think the player that moans as much as him, you know who does moan as much as him, and it was highlighted finally because they are not winning, is Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk moans a lot and complains a lot to the referee about everything. He goes to the referee a lot. A lot, by the way, but it's not highlighted.
I wouldn't call Van Dijk a moaner, really.
Van Dijk always talks about every single decision. He goes and talks to the referee. Everything. But he doesn't jump up and down. But Virgil van Dijk, Sam, you know that Virgil van Dijk goes up to the referee every single call and talks to the referee.
There is that, though, but equally, right? So what doesn't help Bruno Fernandes is, I mean this in the nicest way, he looks a little bit like Master Splinter, right? He does have the look of a rodent about him, right? He's not the best looking man in the world. If Bruno Fernandes looked like David Beckham, if Bruno Fernandes looked like, who's another very good looking footballer, Sergio Ramos, okay, if he looked like that, again, I think he'd be treated differently. It's because there is that visual of, he looks a bit like a rat, doesn't he? And there is that element. I'll give you another example. Even before the biting and the racism, something that annoyed people about Luis Suarez was a moaner was teeth, right? Because I used to think he always looked a bit like Freddie Mercury, right? But yeah, the teeth that stuck out, he's like a bit ratty. I think sometimes your appearance plays a part in it as well. But on my own personal level, Bruno's a top level creative midfielder, one of the greatest creators the Premier League has ever had, and it'll be a worse league without him. And I think you need the characters. And you know, there's characters from Liverpool's past that annoy me, that Liverpool fans love, and vice versa. It is what it is. It is what it is. Bruno just doesn't get enough protection from United fans because we're angry at the state of our football club. But there we go. There we go. I'm not triggered by it. Patrick here with the super chat says, a big up Terry, Mo and Husam, favorite show. Big up TFT community and mods. I don't know what the schedule is for you guys over the holidays, so wish you all very happy holidays and wishing everyone happiness and good health in the new year. On that, what day of the week? Oh no, we will be. No, we will be live next week because Christmas Eve will be next Wednesday. I'll be live Christmas Eve. It just won't be live Christmas Day. That's it. It's the only day I don't stream. So we'll be live Christmas Eve. I'm sure that's a very normal day in Jordan. So yeah, I'll be live.
We'll be live. Just regular business.
It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely. My wedding anniversary is actually 25th of December, actually.
Oh, wow.
That's how normal that day is in Egypt. Because even our Christians celebrate 7th of January. Yeah. So our holiday is 7th of January for the Christians in Egypt. So we always had 7th of the Coptic, like the Christians in Egypt. We always had 7th of January.
Well, my nan, I'm not religiously educated, although I have a religion. My nan always said something to me about Jesus actually being born in January, not December. But I'm not getting into it because that'll open a whole can of worms.
I don't know. All I know is in Egypt,
the Bible actually Jesus was born somewhere in the summer, but let's not
maybe the summer, it's sometime like that. But there we go. That's another conversation for another show that I won't ever be on. Happy birthday, Terry! Can't wait to hear what new conspiracy theories you unleash on your birthday. I don't do conspiracy theories. I talk straight facts. That's it. Thank you, Zane. Happy birthday, Terry. Geez, 40 feels ancient. Do you know what? It's weird, right? Something popped up on my timeline on YouTube last night, and it was from a TV show in the 90s that my dad used to work on. And he was behind the camera a lot of the time, but he was on the show. And I was like, oh, wow, look at that. From the middle of the 90s. And then I went back and worked it out. My dad was then the age I am now. And I was like, my dad always looked so old when I was a kid, but I'm 40. I don't feel that at that age, but there we go. Don't listen to Jordanian weathermen on Skulls. He hasn't even watched the first whole decade of Skulls playing. It's like saying since 2010, Gerrard doesn't rank in the top 25 midfielders. That's one thing. Listen, I'm not going to get into the debate.
Can I ask you a question? What is that Scholes' prime? Is it the 90s or the 2000s or early 2000s?
I would say I think he was at top level in both of them. The issue that you have is that when you look at the second half of his career from the mid noughties until 2013 when he retired, there's two things you've got to consider. A lot of those years he was in his mid to late 30s, but he also had a really bad injury in the mid 2000s where he had a detached retina and he couldn't be fixed. So this is another thing people don't realize. For the rest of his career, he played with double vision. He had literal double vision in his eyes whilst playing, but you can't ignore the first 10 years of his career. So from getting into the first team around his late teens, early 20s until his 30s, that's a lot of people's primes. And a lot of people forget that. Giggsy gets it as well. That you hear I heard a guy on some random podcast the other day talking about Giggs. It was an old clip, but this guy at the time was 20, 21, 22 years old. Giggs retired when he was 11 and he was trying to educate people on Giggs. I was like, fuck off, bro. Like, don't get away from me. So I do agree. Moving on from that, though, moving on from all of that, big game at the weekend for Chelsea. And that's where I want to start today, because Chelsea had a good victory last night in the sense of putting themselves into a semi-final. A lot of frustration with the first half performance, but it's been an interesting week with Maresca calling out the hierarchy at Chelsea for their transfer policy, the lack of squad building, and essentially saying they've left him short. Some fans are agreeing with him. Some fans are saying, get on with your job. How do you think that's going to help them in the preparations for a tough away game at St. James's Park?
The thing about Chelsea is that a lot of Chelsea fans think that they're going to do good against Newcastle away from home, which is maybe they do good in the big games. But I saw your video yesterday on your channel, actually, and you said that is the reason why Maresca cannot rotate. My take from that video is very simple. You cannot be spending £2 billion and you get dominated because you make changes to the lineup against Cardiff City. Cardiff City were absolutely playing around from the back against Chelsea. And I thought that they made them look mediocre. And the commentators were actually saying that, especially in the first half, Chelsea only looked good and created chances when Cardiff made mistakes, when Cardiff gave up the ball in their half. It's not because Chelsea played good. And I feel bad for Enzo Maresca, actually. I feel bad. If Enzo Maresca leaves Chelsea tomorrow, there will be top clubs asking for him because he's a good coach. The squad is not helping him. And Chelsea fans need to realize that the ownership have let him down. I was watching Sky Sports to Talk Sport, and they were saying that now Maresca have teeth. Because when he signed for Chelsea, he was still a baby in the coaching. Now he has trophies. He's in a semi-final of the Carabao Cup. He might win the Carabao Cup, and he will have more teeth. Because now he's going to ask. He knows. He looks at the likes of Amorim. Let me tell you this. He looks at the likes of Amorim. And he's like, Amorim is coming from the Portuguese league. He came to Man United. He had a bad season in the first half of the season, and then he's given all the tools. Why I'm not given the tools? Why is Chelsea depriving me from tools that will make me successful? And I think that is the problem, to be honest. Yes, he can be inconsistent sometimes, but we can tell that he has a good coach. And Chelsea fans need to wake up. They need to actually protest against their owners, because they keep saying about the buy and sell and buy prospects and all this stuff. Bro, just move on from this. You got to stop buying ready-made players. You got to buy the Mbuemos and the Cunhas and not buy the Garnachos and the Gittins and all these people. I feel bad for him, to be honest.
My thing is with this Chelsea thing. I watched the whole game yesterday. Cardiff, first of all, the first half was completely dead, but Cardiff was playing the ball out from the back. They were passing the ball around goalkeeper to right back to center back, and then back to the goalkeeper, and then the right-sided 8 would be pulling into space. And like, this is a League One team, and they were just passing around Cardiff. I just don't think Chelsea's squad is good enough. And once again, my energy is consistent. Just like I protected Pochettino, I'm going to protect Maresca. I don't think Maresca is at fault. I look at this team, and they're just not good enough. I'll be honest with you. There's a reason why they needed Caicedo starting in that team. There's a reason why they needed players like that in the team to even take on Cardiff, because I don't think that Chelsea are a football team that cannot rotate and still maintain like a certain level of quality. Like, Chelsea's quality lies in their starters, because I just don't think that their second team is good enough at all. Like Buonanotte and all these, like the center backs and Achimpong and etc. Like, they can come in and have a good moment here and there. That's fine, but generally, they're just not good enough. And you know, it's always funny because Chelsea fans go like, Mo and Husam have an agenda, but when they're sat there in their rooms, they're looking in the mirror and going like, why did we buy Gittins and Garnacho? But just because Husam and Mo are saying it, they're angry. May you agree with us? I don't think Chelsea should have bought Gittins and Garnacho. I don't think Chelsea should have made the transfers that they made in the summer. And that's the reason why they're weak, not Enzo Maresca. And by the way, Mo's right about the whole Enzo Maresca thing, and this is something that I mentioned. And this is something that I mentioned regarding the Maresca thing. This is my thing with Enzo Maresca. When he first came in, he's a good boy. Why? Because he's happy to be there. And you know, Chelsea are hiring Enzo Maresca, and he's the former Parma manager and former Leicester manager, and he's very excited to be there. And yay, I'm now managing Chelsea, and he's proud to be there. And now a year later, he got them Champions League football, he won the Conference League, and he won the Club World Cup. And now he cannot be a yes man anymore because he has to demand better. Because here's the thing, and I always say this, people claim that Arteta, as an example, is a failed manager. If Arteta gets sacked tomorrow, there will be top clubs after him. If Maresca gets sacked tomorrow, let's use him as the example because that's who we're talking about. Let's say the sporting directors and Maresca have a massive falling out and they sack Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca will be in the names at least to take over at Liverpool. He can go manage AC Milan, Inter Milan. He can manage Atletico Madrid. He can manage like the top clubs.
He can manage Bayern Munich, by the way. Company and go to City.
So this whole notion that like he's not going to be some average Joe. Like he's gonna manage a massive football club after this because of the jobs that he's done at Chelsea. So that's why for me, I just think the sporting directors has let them down, completely let them down.
And I'm going to say this, Terry. I want to ask you, do you think, Terry, and for every Chelsea fan, we have had this conversation in the beginning, with all the spending that Chelsea did, guys, winning the Conference League and winning the Club World Cup, and you spend money. Has the gap been smaller or bigger this year between the likes of City, Arsenal, and Chelsea? You look at the squad, you look at the team. Is it smaller or bigger?
Well, I think what's really interesting is as of right now, unless their league form starts to improve, even though Arsenal had a little bit of a
blip. Let's say a blip. Arsenal had a blip.
A bad period. If Chelsea keep winning at the same rate and Arsenal keep winning at the same rate, there will be a circa 20-point gap between the two teams, which is larger than last year. So after a summer of spending and another year of development, Arsenal would have pulled further away from them than they were last year. Now, I think Arsenal underachieved last season, where I think Chelsea did very well. So that's why sometimes, yes, I don't believe the league table lies about how well you've done that season, but I often look at a number of years to look at who really is the best team. For instance, when Liverpool won the league under Jurgen Klopp, they were the best team in the league that year. But if someone said to me, who's been the best team in the league the last 3 or 4 seasons, you group together 3 seasons. You don't just think about that particular moment. The answer would have been City still. So I think that there is a genuine possibility. And this is why I said last night, they can't afford to rotate anymore. One thing that I feel has been exposed in the last few weeks is this idea. And I want to say, first of all, the majority of the Chelsea fans who watch the Football Terrace, a large percentage of our members that are Chelsea fans, and a number of our panelists, so the likes of David, the likes of Quest, the likes of Kojo, I don't put them in this category. But this idea that's pushed by some Chelsea fans that their squad is the second best in the league, that their attack is if you weigh up the first team players, is only the 4th best in the league, but their depth makes them the second best in the league. I watched your depth last night play. Not your first teamers like your Garnachos and your Netos. And fair enough, Palmer wasn't there. But I watched your first team players struggle to capitalize against a League One team. Now, I know straight away what that leads to is the low-hanging fruit, the basic bitch response. Yeah, your team got knocked out by Grimsby.
I was about to say that same shit.
Yeah, but it's a shameless. But I'm not making the claim that United are better than Chelsea. So it's an irrelevant comeback. you might as well just say the word microwave. It has the same impact in the debate, right? On a real level. And I think for me, this is where it's a serious conversation. I do think Chelsea have some fantastic players in their squad that I'd love Man United to buy, that I think could play and be in the first team and or the first 13, 14 players of nearly any team in Europe. I think when you look at Caicedo's, when you look at Cucurella's, Reece James, when you look at Palmer's, I love the talent of Neto. I quite like João Pedro. I do think there is a player in there. But actually, when you start scraping beneath the surface, when you suddenly start going, right, could they do what Arsenal did and make that volume of changes in an away game against a team of Club Brugge's level and win that comfortably in Europe? I'm not sure if they can do that too consistently. I don't know. You know, I'm not sure if they can. They beat Ajax earlier on this year with a I wouldn't say it's a massively weakened team, but not their strongest team. So they have had some good results like that. But I think again, they've got Wout Weghorst playing up front for them though, Ajax as well. So this ain't the Ajax that we know and love. It's not the Ajax that got to the semi-final.
I think Chelsea's starting 11 can handle teams. I think Chelsea's squad can't handle teams.
Yeah, I think what it's shown is once you start scraping back a few players, and if in those games the couple of starters that are in it are not up their best, the other guys can't be picking up the slack. Like, how many games have you seen? You know, yesterday Garnacho came on, João Pedro came on. You saw Chelsea go up a level. They're good players, but once you start going behind that, and that's what I mean, the overarching squad depth needs to improve. And I think the way Chelsea need to improve their squad depth isn't by adding young players. I think they need to improve their squad depth by adding at the top. So go out and buy a world-class striker, a world-class or a top-class defender, a world-class goalkeeper, and build downwards. That way, if you're pushing the Garnachos and the Delaps and the Pedros to the bench, you're still strengthening your squad. That's the way around I would do it from now. And I think at the end of the day, some Chelsea fans will disagree with me. That's their prerogative. But your manager agrees.
Chelsea fans have an agenda. Like, I think Gittins has been worse than Garnacho, actually.
Yeah.
I think Gittins has been worse than Garnacho.
By the way,
you have to look at price tag. Didn't you pay like 50-something million for Gittins? How much you pay for Garnacho?
You know what they're gonna tell you? We're gonna sell him for 60 next season, and they think that's a W.
But that's not the point. But that's okay. Where's the Mudryk?
The problem is they say that's a W.
No, wait. We have a sample size. Where is the Mudryk money? How much they gonna sell Mudryk for?
Yeah, but Mudryk is doping. That's different.
Okay, that's different. How much?
That's completely different.
Some of the players that they bought 3-4 years ago, how much are they gonna sell them for?
They sold. I gotta be honest with you. I'm telling you the names. I'm gonna tell you the names.
They want to sell Enzo tomorrow. How much money are they gonna make?
No, but I tell you the names. João Felix, they sold for a profit. What's that left back guy / center back that was loaned to Juventus that we forgot about? And Don told us that he's gonna be the next big thing. Renato Vega, they sold him for a profit. They sold everyone for a profit. Somehow Chelsea sell for profit. We have to admit that. They do sell for profit. But at some point,
no, here's the thing that you need to understand. Not every player can be flipped, Mo. Not every player can be flipped.
So I don't think that Gittins will be flipped. Nobody's buying Gittins for 60-70 million.
You cannot flip Caicedo. You cannot flip Enzo. You cannot flip
they don't want to flip Caicedo, Husam.
I'm asking if they want to flip him or not. I'm saying that you can't.
But they don't want to flip these guys. They want to flip.
I don't think you can flip. I don't think you can flip Gittins.
That's the question. Are they going to be able to flip Garnacho? Are they going to be able to flip Gittins? Are they going to be able to do that with the likes of Badia Shield, for example?
A new manager comes in and he wants to play an offensive thinking left back and he wants to sell Cucurella. They bought Cucurella for like...
Guys.
I want to say something about this. Hato, for example, we watch Hato. Good prospect and everything. Well, we look at the gap between you and Arsenal. Arsenal have Calafiori. They have Hincapié. They have Mazou Kelly as left backs. You have Cucurella and then it stops. You have on the left way, and you have Cole Palmer and then it's Buonanotte. Arsenal have Odegaard and then Eze. You see the difference?
Because they sold Ian Maatsen.
And you see the difference, guys. You see that it's Odegaard, Eze. It's Palmer, Buonanotte. It's Delap and then Gui or whoever. You know what I mean? It's Garnacho and Gittins. We look at the dip in the quality for Chelsea when you go down. We're talking about Fofana and then Tosin, and that is the problem. This is
why Chelsea's squad right now for me is they're a cup squad. They can win any of the cups they're in this year. They can win the Champions League. I'm not saying they're the favourites. I'm not saying they will. They can, because that first 11 can handle any team on its day. The issue is, I think, this is one of the biggest things I agree with Gary Neville on. Your bread and butter is your league form. That for me is ultimately how I judge a squad. Is a squad capable of winning the league of which it sits in? And this Chelsea squad isn't, because rotation is a necessity because of injuries, suspensions, and volumes of games. Squads that are good in cups, you can essentially rotate. If you're a team that they're going to make top four, it's going to be okay. You can rotate for a league game and save that squad for a cup game. When you're in a title race and you're trying to win the cups, it's a much harder proposition to have. Winter Surfer here says, Terry, first off, happy birthday. Thank you, mate. He says, I already know next summer's incoming to Chelsea. Quenda, Mega, Penders, and Saar. It's a joke. Maresca in. Yes. Chez here with a question for you boys. He says, we're making out like Maresca is doing wonders with the squad. I rate Maresca, but that's the narrative right now. Question to Mo and Husam. So the Club World Cup win was mainly the squad or the manager that won the trophy?
The Club World Cup? Both. It's both hand in hand.
You've got a cup squad. You've got a squad that when you play your strongest 11,
Maresca outcoached Enrique in the final, as an example.
Yes.
Like some because when you're talking about it as a Club World Cup in general, like I don't think you need a manager to beat Benfica and Porto and Flamengo and shit. Like you can beat them just because you have better quality. But when it comes to the final, I think Maresca outcoached Enrique completely that day. So
I don't understand what's the purpose of that question.
Yeah, because your question makes no sense.
Well, can you explain to us?
I can tell you what the purpose of Chez's question is. He like Don overrates the quality of the squad and doesn't like the squad quality being touched. So whenever Chelsea don't win, this is essentially what Chez and
Are you saying that Chelsea have good centre backs? Are you saying that Chelsea have good centre backs? Is that what you're saying?
What Chez keeps pushing this in the group chats. Chez keeps saying, how can you guys say we're not good at the back? Look at our clean sheet record. And again, you have got good clean sheet record, but you also conceded too many goals to win the league so far. It's when you're hot and you're playing well, it's good, but you haven't done that regularly enough in the right games. That's why you're tracking to finish 20 points behind the league leaders. And defense is one of those areas because you are conceding more goals than the top teams. But we're not comparing you to Man United. We're not comparing you to Leeds United. We're nitpicking amongst the best because you're trying to get to the top. And often the difference between being a comfortable third and winning the league is margins in every game, not massive changes. But yes.
I think Chelsea's starting 11. I think Chelsea's starting 11, everyone fit, is probably the third or fourth best starting 11 in the whole league. But Chelsea's squad, I don't rate them, bro. I don't rate these bench options at all. All these players that they promised us are so good, like you and Andre Santos and all this. Like, I watched Andre Santos yesterday. If he was a player in the championship, he wouldn't look out of place. Let's be honest. Let's be objective about this conversation. If I put Andre Santos tomorrow in Crystal Palace next to Kamada, he would be, it's normal. Like, let's not act like these players are some elite, incredible players. You have very good players in you have Cole Palmer, you have, Cucurella, you have Reece James, you have very good players in your team. You have Caicedo, very good player, Enzo, very good player. But we're talking about the shit around that, though. That's what we're talking about. I don't think you have a good winger in the whole team, unless Palmer's playing on the wing. I don't think you have a good striker. Liam Delap is trying to put the defenders in a Camorra lock every single time. You're looking at Joao Pedro, and he's a very good footballer, but he needs a striker with him to be able to bring the best out of him. Colwell is a very good center back, but he needs a leader center back to bring the best out of him, as an example. Sanchez, for me, as an example, has been scapegoated, but now I rate Sanchez. You can change your opinion. I think Sanchez now is a very good goalkeeper. Sanchez has now established himself as a solid keeper. So Sanchez is not a problem anymore. The rest of the team is a problem.
Yeah, and
you know what? I know the narrative would be I know the narrative would be at the end of the season, Chelsea might go and win the Carabao Cup, right? But I'm gonna say this again: unless it's the Champions League, I don't think that is massive progress for you. My vision and my view of any team in the world, and I'm very consistent about this, is your progress in the league, because this is where you are tested against like 19 other teams home and away to see where you're going to finish. And I'm going to say this, and I haven't said this on the Football Terrace yet, you're judged in the league this season because Liverpool are doing bad, because Aston Villa are doing good. It's not only about where you finish in the league, it's about who you finish ahead and who you are finishing below. Let me give you an example. If Chelsea finish 4th this season, but the 3rd team is Aston Villa, questions need to be asked. If both go to the round of 16 of the quarterfinal in the Champions League, right? But Aston Villa finish 3rd and Chelsea finish 4th, above Liverpool, questions need to be asked. Because you are supposed to be finishing ahead of Villa. Villa's squad is not as deep. Villa don't even have the numbers to make up the squad. The same players play every week for Villa. They don't have that deep of a squad, right? So for me, it's not about only, he finished 4th and won the Carabao Cup, so the team must be very, very good. It's not about that. It's about who you finish above. Because if Villa can finish 3rd, you should be able to finish 3rd. That's my take on Chelsea. Well, I know that revisionism is going to come at the end of the season.
The issue with it is that every time there's a team, so Man United only being level on points with them with the last game, scored more goals than them, and now just 2 points behind them. The narrative around that is, Maresca's just not done a good enough job. And Maresca's made mistakes, and we've criticised him. I thought his substitutions when he went down to 10 men, and the way he set the team up when he went down to 10 men against United and Brighton was really poor. But equally, I also think he over-rotated for the Leeds game. But that also demonstrates the lack of overarching quality in the squad, which is part of the pushback. And maybe to do better in the league, they need to stop fighting so hard on all 4 fronts, trying to win everything, and go, right, I'm playing my strongest team in the league every week. I'm rotating heavily for the cup games in the Champions League so that I can make sure my team are not in the red zone for the important league games. I think where Chelsea's season has the potential to fizzle out is when the knockout stages of the Champions League begin. If they're in that Carabao Cup final and they're in the FA Cup, it's either going to be a case of you're going to have to rotate for the cup games, which I think you've got more chance of winning, or you're going to rotate for the league games and maybe be dragged into a top 4 race, which I think you should be higher than after the money invested and the quality of your squad. And I think that is what Maresca at his core is concerned about. They should have bought higher quality in the summer. By the way, I want to thank Taj, who has gifted not just 20, but 40 memberships out to our viewers on the show today. So a big shout out to Taj for those donations and for those memberships that you've gifted out to everybody. A big thank you from me and everybody at the Football Terrace.
So if you became a member on the guys, if you become a member on the channel now, you know who to thank. You add the guy and you thank the person.
Say thank you, Taj. You bum.
Have some decency and thank the person that gifted you the membership. The guy gifted 40, so I'm expecting.
Kate got a membership. Fuck's sake.
Shit.
Kate should have a membership by herself. What is she doing? What are you doing, Kate? I'm
offended. Buy a membership, Kate.
I'm offended. I'm offended.
You stingy fraud. Look at
do you want to know something, right? It doesn't bother me, but
okay, guys, he supports Spurs. It's fine.
I was thinking a few months ago. I was thinking of doing some content. When international breaks are quiet, I was thinking of doing like an exposure video on people that were members of the Terrace. And when they started phoning in and then coming on shows regularly, they didn't renew their membership. Asking about, you cheeky bastards, you pay membership for a year, then you start coming on the shows and you stop. I thought, you cheeky fuckers. But listen, it's all good. It was meant to be a joke, but sometimes you think about content like that and you're like, there are a lot of dumb people online that would think you're being serious, so you just don't do it because they're toaster people. This here says, mad how you were saying this after forcing the title race narrative about 2 weeks ago. We all said the squad isn't there yet. Well,
no one is forcing a title race narrative. The title race is a very fluid situation, and I've explained this to you guys. I've explained it to you guys 100 times. If City lose the next 3 games, then their title race hopes become smaller.
For me.
This is a fluid situation, and Chelsea. Supposed to be there because that's the natural progression.
It could also be aimed at me potentially, and I do think they won't be a million miles away from the team at the top what's been exposed to me is a few things. One, I thought Gittins would be a better signing than he has been. I thought Tossin would have been a better signing than he has been. Hato, when he came in, I thought would be at a higher level than he is right now, and he's not quite there yet. There's a number of things. I thought the lap would have started so much better than he has done. So there's an element here of getting predictions wrong. Therefore, your overarching view of a team's ability changes. You can't get something wrong or a player not be at that level yet, but they still think the same thing about a squad. But what I'm talking about is that your manager cannot be rotating for league games. He cannot be rotating for Champions League games. He can't rotate anymore for League Cup games because you've got a chance of winning it and you're in the semi-final. The problem is with that is that how tired is your team going to be for all those games? Are you going to be able to cope? That is a conversation here. And the reason it's come up is because your manager has spoken about this. It isn't just some random thing a football fan has thought of. That's why it's such a big talking point. My birthday twin, happy birthday, Terry. I will always appreciate your channel for solidifying my love of football and increasing my knowledge of the sports. Please enjoy your 40th and keep working hard. Jiggy Introvert, thank you. First of all, happy birthday back to you
as well.
Many happy returns and long life, and thank you very, very much indeed for the compliments about the channel.
You guys shared the same birthday with the great hair flick Martin Odegaard. Actually, his birthday is today. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a good one. There's also, I think I might have misremembered this. Oh no, it's one day off. Brad Pitt's birthday is tomorrow. Tomorrow, Brad Pitt's birthday. But
we wish Martin Odegaard the best of luck as well because he's breastfeeding his child. So wish him luck.
What?
I don't know. I don't know that joke.
You guys are too old for these jokes now. You guys are too old for these
I
jokes.
don't know what this joke
Remember
is.
the excuse for his bad performance was that he's a dad now?
Oh, right. Oh, who else is other famous people born today?
I'm born on the same day as Busta Rhymes.
Pope Francis was born on today's day. Who else? Oh, that's a good one. Manny Pacquiao was born on the 17th of December as well. I don't know who any of these are. You know, there's this list of famous people that were born the same day, and you start scrolling down, you're like, oh, that's a good one. You guys might like this actor. Do you remember Jim's dad from American Pie? Eugene Levy. He was born on this date. Giovanni Ribisi. Oh yeah, Martin Odegaard's name's on this list. I'm looking for, come on, to give us one more decent famous person. Who the fuck is that? There's some real. Oh, I like this guy, Bill Pullman. You guys might have watched him. Do you ever watch Casper the Friendly Ghost?
Yeah,
he was the dad, right? Yes, him. And Billy Wingrove from Baller F2 Freestyle. He was born on this date. Why am I on this website on famous birthdays? I should just add myself like I'm a celebrity, shouldn't I? I'm joking to all my haters out there crying. But thank you for the super chat, bro. Are
you not a celebrity?
No.
Don't you consider yourself like a celebrity person?
Oh, no. I personally don't. I love this. Was from earlier.
You're definitely a celebrity. You can go outside and people ask for pictures.
Yeah, a little bit.
If you go to Old Trafford, people ask you for pictures. If you go to the Emirates, people ask you for pictures. If you go to Stamford Bridge, the same. You are a celebrity. Like if you go out, if you go to Selvidge to do
I have had a brand. I had a brand approach me, and they said, if Arsenal win the league, would you go to the parade as part of our the spot? And I went, no way, not a chance. Not a chance.
Oh my god! If you do that.
They were literally like, so I'm not going to give you the name of the betting brand, but they like to do like pranks, and they were like, we could set up a prank, and I did say no to it at the time. Although the more I sat out loud, the more like it would have been funny, and it's like they'd always do pranks, and they were like, we could like reveal you as like do like a true reveal that you are an Arsenal fan, but the whole thing is a prank. And I'm like, the problem is there's dumb people on the internet that would believe it. So, but this here says Terry used to work in finance and fails to incorporate all factors into any projections. The problem is this is where your view falls down when it comes to the tracker. My tracker is based on the points per game that teams are winning, and the longer that tracker goes on, the more accurate it gets, because there's less time to change your points per game difference. However, what there isn't in football is like a business projection. So for instance, if me and Mo and Husam work in a a retail business. What we will know working in London in the UK is seasonality comes in. So, for instance, around the Christmas periods, there's a lot higher chance of much greater sales than in the summer. Or if we're a business that's by the seaside, we know that in the summer months, we're going to have higher sales than in the winter because of seasonality. That's what you would do for a business projection, and I understand that. But there is no need, there is no correlation, but going right, well, Arsenal are getting 2.1 points per game at the moment, and Chelsea are getting 1.6. But Chelsea in January, because it's a New Year's resolution, are going to double their points tally, and Arsenal's will go in half because of their seasonality. You can't make a prediction on that type of things. You're just chatting bollocks, my old mate. It's so weird that you guys don't understand what a tracker is. For instance, the amount of goals United have conceded so far. I look at it and you can work, okay, we're going to concede over 60 goals this season if we don't improve. It's funny how you don't challenge that tracking. But when it comes to Arsenal's tracking of high points, you guys will have a problem with it. Fucking weird. Very weird. Grow up. Moving on from Chelsea, Terry has his own chocolate orange. I do like a bit of chocolate orange. I do like a little bit of chocolate orange. Terry is famous in England. Do you know what? Yeah, listen, I get recognized a bit here. I was in the States before and I've been recognized, which was nice. I got recognized when I was in Qatar quite a bit, which was nice. Ireland, I've got quite a few followers from Ireland as well, but I don't consider myself celebrity, famous, or important in that way.
How big of a venue you think you can sell out?
Oh, no.
If you do. If you do a Mark Goldbridge thing or the Guardian one, and you put the tickets out, you give them a month or two in advance, how many tickets you think you could sell at that?
By myself, if it was just Football Terrace, so myself and people that regularly come on the terrace, I would say between 500 to 700 max. Absolute max.
What?
If, for instance, it was...
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
No, you'd sell out way more, brother. What are you smoking?
I don't think so.
I can sell out 700 people. What are you doing?
If you fly us to London, I'm going to tell you, if you fly us to London, me and Husam, and we do a live show in a venue for 2 hours, we talk about the football, we talk about that, I guarantee you can get between 1,000 to 3,000.
Okay, but if it's you two there, my mind's different. If, for instance, it's Football Terrace, but I've got guests like you, I've got guests like LB.
You get Don, yes, you get Don, you get Staffy.
Again, I do a weekly show with Goldbridge. If Goldbridge was appearing on the show, yes. If it was just me and sort of, I don't mean this rudely, not the guys, the normal callers, or maybe just me on stage for an hour with a couple of guests. I'm not. The thing is this, right? A lot of people think they can sell these venues out. They're very, very hard because people actually having to pay. People tune in to watch our shows. It's amazing. We have our members that pay. We have people that super chat, and I love and respect it. Those guys would be the first people that will go, I'm going to buy a ticket, because they already contribute. For a lot of people, I like watching, but they do watch because it's free. You suddenly say to go and watch that show, it's 25, 30, 40 pounds to get in. It is a different feeling. Does that make sense? So
£10, you'll get 2,000 people.
£10, maybe. But the problem is the venues where to get to the bigger venue sizes, because of what they charge, you can't charge £10 to get in. Like what they charge you to hire a place that seats 2,000 people, like an auditorium. The amount they want, you do the maths, and we're going to have to charge at least. And then you got to pay for a crew. You've got to pay for the guests. You got to pay for. And you add it all in, and you go, hang on a minute. Now we've got to charge £40 a piece to make your money back. And the issue is, so I don't think that much of myself that I could sell out thousands of seats. I don't think that about myself. Listen, if it happened, I'd be like, wow, but I don't think I'm popular enough to do that personally. Maybe. Let us know in the chat. Would you like a live show?
We'll make it happen.
If you get me on the show, we'll sell out. I had so many things I'd like to say as a joke.
Better to remove this comment.
Yeah. Let us know. Comment. Yeah, we maybe. We've done a few things. How much
would you pay for a ticket to attend? £10?
How about I do this? Terry, maybe after this, guys, people that are watching this, maybe Terry will put a community post in the Football Terrace community and actually do a vote. Would you pay to go and see a Football Terrace live show in auditorium? Would you pay to do that and see how many votes you get? Well, how about that? It's you see,
Then we get it sponsored. Can't be gambling, of course. We get it sponsored, and then
We get sponsors, and then we're there. I'm there in London.
then I get paid. Tell them to bring me my money. Let's go. Give me the money.
Put a poll up on the live stream. I said, would you pay over £25 to watch the Football Terrace live? Let's see what people say to that.
£25.
How much is a venue, Terry? Like 10K in to get like a 2,000 seater?
Maybe along those lines. I got approached by Copper Box, which is a mass. That's where they do Ballers League. And they were like, we wanted to put on a show. And I'll be honest with you, I just went, nah, I don't know if the reason why I said that is I'm not going to tell me who told me this. This person's got a massive following, like gargantuan. And they were like, I think they did a show with like 2,500 people. And it's tough to sell. And they're massive. So that kind of just put me off. Does that make sense? And I spoke to people like Robbie that are like, that again, gargantuan. They're like, I suppose one of these things, I think what I would like to do isn't a show that's just about the terrace. I'd like to put on a bit of an event. What I think would be amazing to do, and I'm going to say it out loud, if somebody steals it, then they know they've watched the terrace, is I think for instance, like England in a Euros final, if you hired out like a massive auditorium and you put on an event for the day where you've got like some panel shows, you've got music artists, maybe some comedians, there's breaks within it, you watch the game together and then did like a big match reaction together. That's the kind of thing I'd like to do live, if that makes sense. So I think that would be different because people pay to go to watch those kind of games anyway. I think you could do something like that. The problem is the issue with all of those things is it just costs so much money to put it on. And it's having the money to front that, and it's very, very difficult to do. But some people are saying 25. See, look, already the poll is at 50-50. It's at 50-50. You see what I'm saying? That's straight away. Look, moving on from all of that. Moving on from all of it. How do you think Liverpool are going to get on this weekend? Because do you think they're smelling the blood of Tottenham, Husam?
No. I'm not confident yet, brother. I have to take it one game at a time. The Liverpool right now is just it doesn't fill me with confidence at all. It's a genuine possibility we lose to Spurs. It wouldn't shock me, to be honest with you. So I've got to take it one game at a time. I've got to be patient. Do I back us against Spurs? Yeah, I think we will win. But am I like supremely confident? No, I'm not. You know, some of these new players need to step up as well. I can't keep using the preseason excuse for Isak. Guys, I can only be so shameless on the internet. After that, it's just
Liverpool will break the top 5 this weekend, actually. Liverpool will break into the top 5 this weekend, and people are going to come with the narrative that Salah is out and Liverpool are winning games. We all know what's going to happen in the media. We all know this. But however, the likes of, to be honest with you, I wanted to get Sam's opinion. Everyone was talking about Gyökeres, Xisco, Isak this summer. And then comes Ekitike and he steals the show. Someone put in and said... I
told you all about Ekitike, remember?
Like, Ekitike has the same amount of goals as Gyökeres, Xisco, and Isak combined, actually, for Liverpool, which is absolutely insane. Which is actually insane, actually, for... but Xisco has been injured. Isak is still in the preseason. He needs like a 6-month preseason. That is different. But I think Liverpool now have the tools so that... listen, Arne Slot is going to win the game against Spurs. Spurs are going to actually go down. But
why are you so confident, though?
Because Thomas Frank is going to fall into the trap of like he's going to try to attack Liverpool and he's going to leave spaces for you because he's at home because you're playing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So I think he's going to leave spaces for you. I think he's going to tear them apart. I think it's going to be like at least a 2+ goal margin for
You're so
Liverpool.
confident. I don't understand why you're so confident.
But I think you turned the corner.
Your logic is Spurs are shit. We're shit too.
I think you are a little bit. Spurs are terrible, Hassan. Terrible.
You'll forget one massive thing here. Have you seen their home record for over 18 months? I think in the last 18 months in the league, they've won about 4 or 5 games, mate. They are so bad at home. So bad at home. It's unbelievable. League table this season, if you go on home form,
17
in the league, bruv.
Okay, I hope I back us to win, and I hope that we win. But I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm supremely confident right now. Like the thing is, Liverpool have given you no reason to be confident. People are saying they just lost 3-0 to Forest. We lost 3-0 to Forest at home.
Yeah. But I think I think they are drowning, and you are a little bit going to the surface. I think you are results-wise, somehow you're going to the surface. They are drowning. Every week, I think that Spurs are absolutely drowning. You remember they won one game against Brentford in the last 5 games. And I think I think you're going to actually win against them. I think now it's going to be, I think from this week, we're going to start seeing a little bit of the real Liverpool. You're not going to challenge for the title, but I think you're going to start getting better results than anything is better than the loss that won in like 8 or something like you did before. So you're doing better. You won 3 out of the last 5. And I think you're in for a good, like you play Wolves after, I think you beat them. You play Leeds after, I think you beat them. Now comes the Fulham and the Arsenal. But in the next 3 games, I'm expecting Liverpool to get 9 points, actually. And I can't wait for the agenda against Mohamed Salah. But regardless of Mohamed Salah, I think Liverpool will actually start getting, and I think Ekitike will be spoken about differently now as a starting striker for Liverpool. Now, Isak is going to be sitting on the bench. It's going to be a problem for Liverpool, to be honest. It's going to be a problem for Isak if he doesn't play because he's a big money signing, in my opinion. What are Liverpool fans like think? Like, do you think that he should play like the 5 midfield? This is something that I'm. Wirtz people, by the way, people actually, you know that people started again about the GA for Wirtz. 15 games, 0 GA?
What do you mean?
15 games, 0 GA. It's actually crazy. He doesn't have GA for Liverpool. Wirtz. That's 0 GA.
Florian. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. That's why when I say like, okay, we're talking about like life post Mo and stuff, all these players, they've got to step up now. You can't keep using the same excuses. And look, just like I hold the opposition players accountable, I have to hold my own players accountable too. I think it comes to a point where I've got to like, listen, I can protect these players, I can defend these players, but at some point in time they've got to step up. And now the thing is, everything is magnified on Arne Slot now, because you don't have like that whole Mo cloud of like, oh, Mo is here and the beef and all this. He's gone to AFCON now, and I wish nothing more than Egypt to win AFCON. But yeah, for me, I just look at this current situation, and all eyeballs are on him.
Let me throw this in. Sorry, I have to go check on the kids. How many games of playing well would you have to see to change your mind about Slot being sacked?
10. I think we need to have a massive sample size, because we've used up all the credit in the bank of us losing games. Like Mo will know this. If at some point in time you're gonna have to acknowledge that we played so badly that we're gonna have to fix up, and like all the credit in the bank with Liverpool losing games of football has run out. Like these next 4 games that we've got Spurs, we've got Fulham, we've got what's their name? We got Leeds at home, and we got there's another team anyway, another shit team we're playing. Basically,
Burnley. You play Burnley at home. We play Burnley at home.
Burnley at home. So we've got 4 winnable fixtures. Those 4 games, we have to win every single one of them. We legit, every single one of them is a must win.
So I know they're all must win. That 10-game period, could you play well in a game? For instance, you play Arsenal at the Emirates. What if you're good in the game but narrowly lose? Does that go in the good back basket? Because you can't win every game, even when you're
of course. So, if we go away to the Emirates and we play really well, but we lose like 2-1, or we draw 1-1, or we lose even 3-1 because they score a goal, like a counter at the end, that's different. But I'm looking at the rest of the games. I'm talking about the games leading up to the Arsenal game, because here's the thing: these next 4 games cannot be you beat Spurs and then you lose to Wolves, and then you draw with Leeds, and then you beat Fulham, and it's just like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You cannot do this. You have to have some form of consistent run, which we haven't done right now, and that's the biggest issue for me. So this team is gonna have to wake up. This team is going to have to wake up. This manager is going to have to wake up. The players are going to have to wake up. All the talent we have out there on the pitch, and our best player this season is Dominic Szoboszlai. That in itself is a dark sign. That's not a good sign. That's not a yay moment. That's a what the fuck moment. Like, why is Dominic Szoboszlai my best player with Isak, with Wirtz, with Ekitike, with Salah, with all these guys? Like, it's just, these players haven't been like platform to succeed. If given the choice right now, you tell me tomorrow, would you sack Slot? Yes, I would sack Slot. And I would hire a new manager, 100%.
So you don't have any faith he'll turn it round?
No, I think there is a possibility he turns it around, because I wasn't one of the people that turned on Slot immediately. In the Liverpool infamous Civil War video, I was on the side of the Slot inners, and I was backing Arne Slot. But like I said, like I think he can turn it around. Will he? Is the question that we will all find out together. And I wish nothing more than to say, yeah, I was wrong, and you know, I shouldn't have turned about all this stuff. But at this moment in time, the problem is, Terry, all the losses he has used up already. Like you're almost gonna have to be perfect for some time. Like Arsenal away, fair enough, that's different because you're going to the Emirates, so I understand. But the rest of the games, bro, like you've got to win. Someone just said disrespectful to Szoboszlai. No, it's not disrespectful to Szoboszlai. Because if I sat here in August with Isak, Wirtz, Salah, Ekitike, Van Dijk, Alisson, McAllister, Gravenberg coming off PFA team of the seasons, and I tell you, hey, our best player in December is going to be Szoboszlai, you would say I'm crazy. So let's not do this whole disrespectful to Szoboszlai thing, yeah? Let's actually be honest about this. It's not disrespectful to Szoboszlai at all. Because Szoboszlai, as a player, as an individual, is supposed to be a level below these players. So this is something to speak about the players that haven't performed. So that's the thing. And by the way, this whole 4-4-2 thing, it's nice and all. Like we got a couple of good results. You know, by the way, this whole 5-game unbeaten run is bullshit because Leeds we should be beating and Sunderland we should be beating. So all this 5-game unbeaten run, no one gives a shit. Don't act like we played like, you know, Real Madrid and Man City and stuff and we were unbeaten.
You played Real Madrid.
That was before the run. That was with Salah. I'm talking about the narrative. So for me, I'm looking at these next games.
No, yeah, you're right. I'm thinking about Inter Milan.
Yeah, before
sorry,
the run,
my mistake. Sorry.
Yeah. Flexing, you cannot flex a draw to Sunderland. Cannot flex a draw to Sunderland and a flaw to Leeds. So we have to be able to win. That's my point, Baz. If Szoboszlai was an unsung hero in the team, and someone who we go like, you know, Terry comes on the Football Terrace on Wednesday and goes like, yeah, you know, Dominic Szoboszlai, his role is very underrated for Liverpool. I'd be like, okay, yeah, I hear you. But the fact that he's our best player is an issue. So that's my point.
Curtis Jones is playing very well for you. My thing is McAllister and Wirtz and like they need to step up. Like we cannot. I think Liverpool are not getting enough scrutiny for the players that they bought, to be honest with you, for the Kerkes and Sabot. Like I don't see in the media. I don't watch the media. I see a lot of Eucharist talk, right? I don't see a lot of Isak talk. What is the Isak talk? What is the Wirtz talk? Where are these? They died because Liverpool are not doing good. Okay, so what if Liverpool do good in the next 5 games and Isak is still not doing well? Are we gonna hear a lot of?
Yes, but I explained this to you, but you're so stubborn. You don't understand. The reason why Gyökeres gets cooked more is because Arsenal are really good and he's not scoring. There's a difference. I explained it to you.
Yes, but still, he's 130 million. He's not doing anything, bro. He's not doing anything. He's not.
I'll be honest with you. I am surprised at the lack of scrutiny they've had compared to even teams that have been doing well that have signed players that haven't really hit the ground running. Before social media was a thing, I remember Veron getting slagged off every week on television, even though United were still winning league titles because he was a big signing. I just feel that this is what annoys me.
But that's normal though, Terry, isn't it?
Well, my point is, we buy Veron, he flops, even though we're winning trophies. Actually, well, we didn't win as much in the period that Veron was there. Arsenal won the league and a few other things happened. But the scrutiny was there. I think when you add quality players to a quality team, and the fact that Szoboszlai has done well, this is why I don't just blame the system. Szoboszlai has done well this year. Curtis Jones is playing well this year. Most certainly, Ekitike overall has played well. So it's individual things. The one thing that I would be worried about as a Liverpool player when it comes to Isak, and I'm not writing him off, it's just food for thought, is I'm not seeing anything. So with Ekitike, even in games where he's not scored, it's been, look at that bit of skill. Look, he took a man on, he done a guy. That's a good pass. That's a great touch. Wirtz, I am seeing it. That's a good bit of skill. That's a great layoff. The touch is there. I'll be honest with you right now with Alexander Isak, he scored 2 goals. But I haven't, last year from Newcastle, when he put Van der Ven on his arse and made him breakdance, I haven't seen the man twine anybody up. I've not seen him skin somebody. I've not seen a wonderful touch and turn that's made Anfield stand up and go, something's going to happen. He hasn't. That's the one worry I've got.
That's why, Terry, I just said now the Mo cloud is gone. You got 4 games, Isak and Ekitike with Wirtz. Step up. Show us life without Mo. Show me. I want to see it. I want us to win. I want us to win all these games with a massive scoreline. Show me show me like the level we're talking about here, because we can't keep using excuses. At some point in time, everyone's gonna have to execute. Even Ekitike, by the way, Ekitike scored the brace against Brighton and scored the brace against Leeds. Before that, he went 9 games without a goal. So when we're talking about reliability and consistency, you're gonna have to be able to be consistent.
So I agree with
Nicholas.
I get your point, and some of the chat going, Terry, it's different when a good team is doing well and a player signed and they're bad because the team's playing well. Then why did Pogba get so much scrutiny? Why? In fact, based on that logic, Bruno Fernandes should barely be ridiculed because he's constantly been pretty good in a really bad team.
Bruno gets ridiculed by your own fans, if anything.
Yeah, but forget those idiots, forget those morons. I'm talking about the media. The logic that Isak and Wirtz shouldn't get that much criticism because Slot's been a bad manager and the team isn't good means someone like Bruno Fernandes should get more praise than any other player in the league because he's played well when the managers have been bad and the system has been bad. For me, I feel
Bruno does get a lot of praise, Terry, though. Like for the last, I'll tell you something. Since probably Oli, probably Bruno has been getting a lot of praise for the last 3-4 years. I think you're clouded by what your own fan base say. But from a rival perspective, even when I see them doing combined 11s and stuff, they always put Bruno. I don't think Bruno gets cooked by rivals as much.
Actually,
we hate Bruno. We hate Bruno because he moans and he complains and he's a little rat. Other than that, we don't like.
Even the neutral pundit. I don't want to go to the Bruno thing, but even the neutral pundit. Some two seasons now, they have been saying Man United should move on from Bruno. 2 years now, I've seen it on Sky Sports, on Talk Sport, on any all the outlets. They say Man United should move on from Bruno.
I gave you the example when it comes to Jokeras, like, and even you agreed with it. Last season, when Liverpool were so good, no one spoke about Darwin Núñez because we're fucking amazing.
So, well, I do think he had criticism.
The other way. Everyone spoke about Darwin Núñez.
I hear you, but if Ekitike is doing well, and I hear what Terry's saying, you're a £130 million player that people spoke about you. You were magnificent. Where is the ability gone? Where is the dribbling? What is the first touch?
He's trying to regain fitness because he hasn't had the preseason, and he's gonna step up.
Take him out of the stream, but. That's the problem with that. I don't think there is excuses for Isak. You're 130. You should make things happen on your own, and he's not. Every time he steps on the pitch, he looks like a passenger. He looks like a passenger.
I listen. I agree with you on that. And I think there's a. I wouldn't write these players off right now, and I'm not doing that. But for me, the lack of scrutiny compared to what I've seen others get is crazy. David here says you had Tom yesterday saying Chelsea signings were not good enough. Can you imagine? Did you jump in, Terry, and say Liverpool's aren't good enough either, so you also don't scrutinise Liverpool? The difference is, David, and you're conflating a situation here. I didn't have an issue yesterday with you suggesting that some of Chelsea's attackers, new signings, could make it to the highest level. I was frustrated at you because you wouldn't answer which ones you thought would. You just said they can make it or they might not make it, so we shouldn't judge. And I'm like, that's fine, but which ones do you think are going to make it? Which ones do you think are good enough? You wouldn't answer. I disagree with Tom that all of the attacking signings are bad. I like João Pedro. I think that Esteval's going to be good, and I still quite like Gittins. But he had an opinion, and I'm letting him have it. Why would I not? My reason for challenging you is because you didn't give an opinion. You just said, well, we can't say they're flops because they have to be given time. The reason I called you out was 2 reasons. One, you wouldn't answer which ones you thought were good enough, and I thought that was a little bit meek. The second reason is you're always judging United's new signings before giving them time, and I would expect a Man United fan to give more leeway to his own players than rival players, if anything, especially as you always call me out for not backing United as much as I supposedly back Arsenal. There's hypocrisy in there, my friend. By the way, Charge has gifted out another 20 memberships. There's 60 memberships given out today. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you very much, Taj. I think we've got some new stuff coming for our members soon that I'm going to be launching soon to do with the collaborations feature on YouTube as well. So essentially our legend and super fans, we will be doing up to 3 collaborations a month with you on YouTube, where you can collab with us, and it will help push your YouTube channel to our audience to help you grow as well. We're going to be the first YouTube channel in the world to offer that as a membership package. So if you're interested in that, get yourself upgraded to Legends and Superfans. That is coming very, very soon indeed. Moving on slightly from Liverpool, but in the same ballpark, Arsenal, big test this weekend. They play Everton. There's a lot of pressure and scrutiny on them at the moment, as there should be. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but their next 6 games are all against teams they failed to win last year. Everton away, Brighton at home, Villa at home, Bournemouth away, Liverpool at home, then Forest away. How do you see Arsenal responding to City closing that gap down at the weekend?
Let me start this one. Look, I will say this as someone, and look, I know that some Liverpool fans won't like this, but I'm going to speak my opinion. Look, I hate Manchester City. I have no hatred towards Arsenal at all. I want Arsenal to win the league. I think Arsenal fans are doing stuff that is unhealthy for your own health, and just panicking every time City score a goal or blah, blah, blah. I get the City Palace result is frustrating, but the other wins that City had, I expect them to win anyway. I'm looking at Arsenal, and I think you have to be able to build yourself for the long run. Like, you have to be able to be ready for a title race from now until May, because you've got City that will lose games, you've got City that will drop points, and I've seen Manchester City before. I don't look at the City side and think, oh my God, sharks. I think City are dolphins right now. I don't think that they're sharks. City have shown their weaknesses at home to Leeds. They have shown their weaknesses away to Fulham. You're 5-1 up and the game ends 5-4. You're 2-0 up against Leeds. And Mo mentioned this, Leeds had 70% possession or 80% possession at the Etihad for 20 minutes and scored twice. You get me? So this whole City is sharks, and oh my God, City are. I don't think City are. I don't think City are like this amazing side. To be honest with you, I think City will be in the title race, but City can drop points too. Like, why do we act like City are gonna be perfect? City lost to Aston Villa. City lost to Newcastle. City lost to Brighton. City lost to Spurs. So this notion that City like never drop points is total bullshit. You get me? So can City go on a run? Yes, they can, but Arsenal have already won 10 games in a row this season. They've already done it. Mo has pointed this out. It's already happened. This concept that Arsenal can't win games of football is crazy. Now, on the other side of the argument, which I agree with, we can't keep saying everything is not a big deal, because all these not a big deals combine with each other and then become a big deal. That's the problem from an Arsenal perspective. Meaning, it's not a big deal to draw away at Stamford Bridge. It's not a big deal to draw away here. It's not a big deal to lose here. And then in the end, it's not a big deal, and it's not a big deal, and it's not a big deal, and suddenly it's a massive deal. So you have to be able to have some form of consistency. Can you put up those lists again? Because I want to point out just a couple of things about these games. I'll be honest about this. Everton is a must-win. Brighton is a must-win. Aston Villa is a must-win. Bournemouth is a must-win. Forest is a must-win. I'm looking at those games. Everton away, you have to beat them. They aren't good enough. Brighton is at the Emirates. Aston Villa is at the Emirates. If it was at Villa Park, I'd understand. Bournemouth are not the Bournemouth that existed 3-4 months ago. And by the time you play Bournemouth, they might not even have Semenyo. Nottingham Forest away from home is also another game I expect to win. Now, Liverpool at home, if those games, let's say, I'm going to be very objective about this. Let's say Liverpool have figured it out by that time and Liverpool are really good, right? Let's say you win the first 4, so you get 12 points, and you win the last one, so now you get 15 points. And you draw against Liverpool, 16 points out of 18, okay. Well done. But don't like draw away at Everton and then beat Brighton and then draw to Villa because Unai Emery parked the bus. You cannot keep doing this. You have to be able to go on a run. So that's their thing. Husam, Villa away won their last 6. You are in a title race. You have to be able to beat Aston Villa at home. Mo always bring this up. When you're playing a team at home versus playing them away, it's 2 different things. Arsenal at Villa Park, I'd go like draw is acceptable.
I'm going to say this. Arsenal must win most of their games. I agree. Less than 16 points out of 18, I think that is not good enough. But I'm expecting Arsenal to do this. I don't know why people are panicking. I don't know why the media now is... I don't understand this. Why there is so much pressure from the media on Arsenal? I don't understand this. They're still top of the league. They dropped points. Apart from the Sunderland game, they dropped points in all the games that you would expect them to drop points at. They play in City, which is they are in a title race. Maybe it's a City game. Chelsea, Liverpool, like Villa. I don't know why the media is piling on Arsenal now. Now everyone is analyzing every move of Victor Gyökeres, including myself. I'm guilty of this, right? We are analyzing every single thing about Arsenal, but we aren't analyzing City as much. I'm giving City praise. I like watching City. City are absolutely very, very good, right, in terms of going forward. But we're just forgetting that before the last two games, City lost at home to Bayer Leverkusen when they rotated, right? And they lost against Newcastle away, and they allowed 6 goals against Leeds and Fulham. But people, I'm going to tell you guys what is going on in the media, and I'm going to be completely honest here, which is, I know people are going to say you glaze Arsenal, you don't glaze Arsenal, fuck off. Okay? This is the reality. I'm going to tell you the reality about this. With Manchester City, we media highlight the positives and hide the negatives and don't talk about the negatives. With Arsenal, they highlight the negatives and don't talk about the positives. And listen, I do this. I actually do this. For City, I talk a lot about the attack. I talk about like how good Foden is. I talk a lot about how Shirky, like in the last games, I spoke about, Shirky and Foden, the link up, Haaland scoring goals, all this stuff, fantastic, right? And we aren't talking about the defensive stuff. I'm saying this, right? For Arsenal, people highlight the negatives. They scored 2 own goals. They won the 2 games, but you aren't talking about Saka's delivery from these corners. And by the way, I'm going to tell you something about Arsenal, about the last game, to be honest with you. I'm going to speak about this. Big up, KJ. I'm going to speak about this. You know what? Any other game, and I'm completely honest with you guys, Arsenal, after Wolves got the equalizer in the injury time, in the added time, most of the other times for Arsenal would have dropped off and they would have drawn this game and lost 2 points. Am I wrong? Always. Right? Always. But now Arsenal picked themselves up. They went forward. They scored the goal. Yes, against a weak Wolves. But it happened. Right? City against Fulham, they allowed from 5-1 to 5-4. Against Leeds, they allowed Leeds back in the game. Yes, Wolves are bad. But I believe that Arsenal, the mentality of this game in Arsenal, picked themselves up and at the end they got the 3 points. I think that will give them a push, that game actually. I'm not saying that City are out of it. City are good. But I'm still thinking that City are below Arsenal, right? I don't know why some people are pushing in the media that City are ahead of Arsenal. Now they aren't. Even Martin in the chat, big up Martin. Even Martin
probably spitting at his phone right now.
No. Even Martin, we had a phone call and he still thinks that Arsenal are better than them. He thinks that he believes in his team that they will win the league, but he's not saying that they are favorites in Arsenal.
Is that the Mancunian way?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, big up. Well, he says something here which is interesting. He's absolute garbage. Nobody had us in the race and had us 3rd or 4th, even 5th. Our defense is bad. We're Haaland FC. Stop talking agenda nonsense. And listen, I can't speak for what Mo said.
You're the one doing the agenda nonsense.
No, but I said that. Okay, so I'm responding to this. He's talking to me. I'm responding to this, right? You are doing better than what I expected. In the fine margins, again, for example, against Fulham, fine margins. Gavardian cleared it off the line in the last minute. Fine margins that went City way. You know what I mean? And it's because your team is not as bad as I thought. Some of the players are playing better than what I expected. I didn't see Matthias. And people that say that I saw this coming, you're a hypocrite and a liar. Apart from City fans who might back their team, all the City fans were crying because they didn't sign a right back. All the City fans said that we don't have a DM if Rodri's not back. All the City fans didn't think that Nico O'Reilly would be this good. I bet you no City fans saw that Doku would be feeding Haaland like this, would be doing that good, would be doing wonders, and would be singing Doku's name.
Martin, by the way.
By the way, and I'm going to call out every
Martin wanted Doku's soul.
Not Martin, but every hypocrite that actually talk about, I said that City will be there. I bet you didn't say that when City didn't sign a right back. I bet you didn't say that when you lost on Wirtz because you thought that Wirtz will be Kevin De Bruyne as replacement. You didn't say that when you didn't get a winger, when you wanted Semenyo staying in instead of Doku. You didn't say that Doku would be that good.
City are definitely the media darlings in this scenario.
Nobody thought that Nico Gonzalez will be doing good for City. Nobody. Oh, everyone. Here's the thing about this. Backtracking and say, I told you so, you're lying. No, you didn't tell me anything. You never said that you would be that good. You never said that you're going to. The only person that said that is Martin. He said, I back my team. But even Martin, by the way, and I'm going to call out Martin
Brighton gave up.
And I'm going to call out Martin here. Martin in the summer told me, Mo, I back my team because of Pep Guardiola. I back my team because of Pep Guardiola. And he still says that now. But all the City fans that say, oh, I told you that we're Arsenal, well, we're going to win the league. No, you didn't. You fucking were crying on...
Yeah, thank you. No,
you're fucking crying in them. You were crying on YouTube. You were crying on Twitter. Why didn't the board back Pep and buy a right back? They were crying, bro. They were crying.
Do you know what I find really interesting? And to not to completely disagree with Martin, but I look at the whole thing as a gender-based analysis in the sense of, I didn't think City would win the league at the beginning of the season. Shooing for top 4. They've become a better team than I thought they were going to be, and they're in the race now. And that should be able to change. But the one thing I did push back on, I saw Michael Richards talk about it. What do they do if Haaland stops scoring? And I said it then, and it's come to fruition. The media's done this, and they keep copying the agenda-based TikTokers and fan media nonsense. They'll do I saw so many people crown Arsenal champions after 6 or 7 games, which done my nut in, but we all know why it was happening. If you crown them champions early and then they don't win, then you could say they bottled it, but no one's crowned champions after 4 or 5 games, not in a league with so many hard away games. Haaland is the only one who scores at City. It was far more likely that the Fodens and the Cherkis and the Dokus and the like would start adding goals to the team more so than just Haaland continue scoring for the rest of the season. And now what we're getting to as we hit the midpoint is we're starting to see everything kind of level itself out and the cream rise to the top. It's like pouring I know not everybody drinks, but if you've ever seen a pint of Guinness get poured, it looks really messy when it's first poured. It takes time to settle. And that's all we're really seeing here. But I do agree with the Mancunian way here. So Martin's his name, right?
Yes, Martin.
Yeah, Martin. I do know who he is. I'm just terrible with names. So with Martin, in the sense of too many people spoke badly about City, wrote them off. No chance they can do anything. Can't be in the race. Only Haaland scoring, and it is just.
But rightfully so. But it's rightfully so. No, I disagree. It's rightfully so.
Oh, and he's right. The amount of people that write off Phil Foden, Foden is back to his best, but he's doing what he's always done for City, barring last year, an integral part in them winning games. If they do win the league this year,
yeah, probably yes, you're right, but rightfully so, guys. Right? Why do people? Okay, Liverpool went and signed Wirtz, Kerkez, Frimpong. They renewed Salah, they renewed Van Dijk. They got Isak. So I definitely expect the City to be behind him, especially without signing a right back, especially without signing a DM, especially with signing no wingers, especially because of these things. There are reasons for us to predict City not to be on par with Liverpool and Arsenal. The fact that Liverpool are doing, anyone that is telling me that I expected Liverpool to be this bad, you're a liar. You're a liar. You're just saying stuff. You know what, Terry, you have this thing in England. You're throwing darts in the dark, hoping that one sticks. Is that what you guys say in England?
Yeah.
You're throwing. That's the people. Oh, I expected Liverpool to do bad. Based on what? Because I think the Galacticos will not do good.
Nobody thought Liverpool would. No one who predicted it might not work. I remember being super chatters saying to Husam, do you think this amount of new signings will work? And Husam said, yes, the core is here. No one that said it might not predicted it being as bad as it's been. So no one.
Spine is there. They just added better striker and a better number 10.
But guys, everyone, it's very easy to do YouTube and speak in hindsight. But this whole notion that people predicted this shit, no one predicted this shit.
No
one predicted Liverpool being this bad. I actually said that City will be in a title race. I said it. And I said that they will finish third.
Oh, you said it because of Pep, right? Can we clarify this? Because of Pep Guardiola?
Yeah, I said no, because of Pep, Haaland, these players, Rodri was back, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, they're going to be there.
And Rodri is not back, yet they are in title race, Osam. So someone tells me, we're going to have Rodri back. That's why we're in title. You're in a title race without Rodri. So you're wrong. You're actually wrong.
I also want to say something. When you mentioned earlier they're not Sharks, they're Dolphins, a few people did the whole, but Dolphins are dangerous as well. Well, yes, look, Dolphins are often curious and friendly towards humans, but they're wild animals and they sometimes headbutt. They sometimes, I think they call it butting, and they charge. They're very sharp teeth and they do break hands, break ribs and hurt humans. But you would much rather an angry dolphin chase you than a shark. Equally, I'll give you the land example. My dog befriended a little, I don't know what, I think they're called, are they called ferns? The baby deers, are they called ferns? I could be wrong. Anyway, whatever a baby deer is called, I'm not National Geographic, but he kind of made friends with this little deer in the woods near where I walk when they were both puppies and they played together. My dog loves deers. I have to steer away now. We went near him a few weeks back. He's almost fully grown now. If we'd have gone near him, this thing would have kicked me in the face, right? It's a deer, right? Now, I'm not scared of deers, but I don't want to get kicked in the face by one. Now, again, my point is they're dangerous. They're wild animals. But what would I rather get into a fight with? A deer or a wolf, right? It's the same with the dolphin and the shark. Some people are so pedantic. Oh, dolphins hurt people too. What would you rather chase you in the ocean? Look, get out of the water quick, a dolphin's coming. Or, look, there's fucking Jaws. My God, people annoy me, man. They annoy me. People are so stupid. That's what they're called, ferns. Yeah, and I was friends with one, my dog was, but it doesn't like us anymore. It used to see us and walk over. It sees us now and it gets quite aggressive.
But here is I want to just say something. Why are people saying now that Arsenal will not win the league? What is your reason? What is the reason?
PTSD?
They're saying that I don't think some people never believed they were going to win the league. But when they had a good start and other teams didn't have the greatest of starts, they did the whole gimmick of, it's over, it's yours to win. And people like me called it at the time, you're exaggerating to plant the seed. So if they don't win it, which you don't believe they will, you'll go crazy. And now that they've had a few slip-ups, and this is what's crazy about it, had City lost to Palace and they went back to a 5-point gap, it would go from, they're bottling it to, now they must. And that narrative, you're going to watch it every week. You'll see all the dullards on TalkSport, all the shit pundits on Sky, all the TikTokers, all the Arteta outers. When they get 5 points ahead again, if they get 5 points ahead again, it will be, you have to run away with it, you're clear. If it gets narrowed down to 1 point or there's a slight change again, it will be, you're going to bottle it, you're not good enough, City are too powerful, Pep's the man. The narrative will change result on result. And it's one of the things that's killing content creation, a lack of honesty in conversations. And every week, there has to be a new overarching statement. Give you an example. You do every single match reaction, Husam, after Liverpool. A few weeks back, you said slot out. Since then, you've won a couple of games. The last thing I'm going to ask you is, in a serious way, is if you change your mind on slot. If you change your mind on slot. I've asked you today, what would it take? So I'm going to give it 10 to 15 games, and then I'll ask you again. We don't need to go into overarching opinions every minute of the day. Actually, dolphins are more dangerous than sharks.
Here we go.
Okay. Joshua? Okay, Joshua.
Fine. Dick is in the chat. Big up to Dick Van Dick for the super chat. Appreciate you, brother. No one speak about animals when I'm here. I watch the most National Geographic documentaries than anyone. I watch a lot of National Geographic.
What a nerd.
That's why I brought up the whole leopard and the 3 thing last season, and people didn't get it until we ended up winning that thing. Uskut dagiga. The thing with the sharks is, if you get into the ocean with a shark, you're dead, mate. You literally have zero chance of survival.
This is the whole point, right? You'll probably find statistically is that dolphins probably hurt more people a year than sharks hurt people a year. But it's like a busted rib, a bruise. They went to attack them. But when you get and we're not, by the way, we're talking about a great white here. We are talking about Jaws. We're talking about a 20-foot motherfucker, one gulp. It's this element of, we're not talking about, again, I reckon more people a year get bit by dogs than get attacked by lions. But which would you rather fight?
A dog!
Exactly. Like my dog would beat up everyone, would hurt everybody in the chat. But he's actually, and the thing is, my dog's quite well trained. He's a guard dog, though. He's still more likely to bite you than you are to get attacked by a lion. But a lion will kill you. It's going to eat you. We don't need to. But statistically speaking, dogs bite one person every 5 seconds across the world. Lion attacks only happen 3 times a year. Shut the fuck up. Come on now.
Actually, the most dangerous animal on the planet is an octopus that exists in Australia. It's so venomous that its bite could kill you in 10 seconds.
Bro. Some English guy filmed the video on TikTok of him holding one. He just found it and was playing with it, holding it. It wasn't until he uploaded the video that people were telling him, if that thing had stung you, you'd be dead in seconds. And he was holding it for like 2 minutes in his hand. Fucking nutter. Blue ring. Yeah. Also avoid crocodiles. Yeah, exactly. But just to let you know, kitty cats bite more people a year than crocodiles, so they're more dangerous. Oh, fuck me, people, man. Before the end of the show, let's do these comments here. This here says, I feel some of the City fall-off takes were to call Arsenal bottle jobs, knowing City was in it all along. 100%, bruv. 110%. Thank you to Akash here for renewing your membership, and to Footy Corner TV for renewing your membership as well. That means a great deal to us. Happy birthday, Terry. Wish you a healthy and happy life. Thank you, Akash. It means a lot to me, brother. Husam, bro, was in your country recently as part of a news crew for my Prime Minister's visit, just for a day, but very nice country and friendly people.
Appreciate you, Mark. Thank you, Habibi. I saw that Modi was talking about the political relationship and economic relationship between the countries.
What country is that there?
India.
Oh, it's India. Okay. I didn't know the money sign. Big up. This is a great chance for us to make up on games we dropped points in last year. Gyökeres has still only started 11 games. People need to...
It's only started 11 games. Why do you guys, I just want to fucking punch something. Why do you guys just not accept criticism? I've accepted criticism on Alexander Isak, on Salah, on Virgil. I've accepted. Why do you guys... It's always some fucking random thing that you just bring up. It just makes me so irritated, deep down. Oh, he's only had 11 starts. So what? He's only had 11 starts. Just he hasn't performed at the level we expected. That's it. My God. I cannot do this. I'm sorry. I just get rattled.
An orca is the most dangerous. Yes, great killer whales are very, very dangerous.
But that wasn't the analogy. I called them dolphins, not whales. I said they refer to themselves as sharks. I look at them now and I say they're a dolphin. They can bruise you, but a shark will kill you.
Yes, also, I just Googled it, right? So it's great white sharks are more dangerous than the orcas. It goes attacks. No confirmed wild fatalities. Only one documented bite from a wild killer whale in 1972. So again, I'm not saying they're all dangerous, right? They're all dangerous. By the way, like any team in the Prem, if you're not on your guard and you're not playing well, they can beat you. Even Wolves, if you play dirt, they could beat you, right? But let's not mess around. Great white shark. Honestly, let's do it. I'm going to fund it. I'm going to use my savings, right? And you get to choose, Joshua Jack. I'm going to put you in a swimming pool. You got to stay in a swimming pool for 10 minutes. And you can choose between a dolphin, a killer whale, and a great white shark to be in there with you. I bet you don't pick the great white shark. Do you take the bet? Welcome to the 40 Club, my brother. Thank you, Ray. Thank you to the Mancunian Way for also becoming a member on the show today.
Martin, you became a member so you can cry every Wednesday. Oh, I love you, mate. I'm going to listen to your voice note after where you're like, don't fucking lie. I said City will be there. Hold that, mate. Hold that.
I'm accepting the criticism. Just some of the Gyökeres narrative is over the top. That's my point.
When you say over the top, though, when you're at the top, people will nitpick. Last season, Liverpool used to win games of football, and Mo's first reaction on MHF was, I've never seen a worse footballer in my life than Darwin Núñez. His first statement, we just started the thing. I was, it's just...
Joshua Jack, will I have a weapon? No. You versus the shark.
You think you can use a gun underwater to shoot a shark? Brother, I will send you the link to the documentaries I watched. You can educate yourself.
I need to know, Joshua. I will fund this. You need to sign a waiver that will fund it. But which animal are you getting in the water with? I'll give you one extra choice. You could also have a crocodile in there with you as well, right? So which of the 4 animals because I know straight away I'm picking my order's simple. I'm going dolphin because it could hurt me, but ain't going to kill me. Then it's killer whale. Then I'm going crocodile. Then I'm going shark. I'm that's my order, right?
Saltwater crocodile is more dangerous than a shark, but fine.
Maybe, yeah, could be. I've been honest with you.
I'm going to tell you something.
If you said alligator would be second, because alligators don't kill as many humans.
Yeah, don't kill. But saltwater crocodiles are fucking nuts. They're crazy.
The guy will do this, and then he will, and then all of a sudden,
this one comes out as. But both saltwater crocodiles and great white sharks are apex predators, and their attacks still differ. It basically saying Google is basically saying you're fucked either way. Yeah, dead. Yeah, Joe, Google did say here. Google here says tell Joshua Jack he's a dickhead. Pick the dolphin. Hippo. Yeah, by the way, hippo would be last on my list. They're even more dangerous, the hippos. But then I'd love to ask a question of an expert. Is that if you're in their territory? What if you were just in a swimming pool? Because they're not apex predators, I don't think.
Yeah, no, hippos in the water, you're dead. Outside, you get me?
But I want to know whether, again, this is because I'm ignorant on it. Is it if you're in their water, their territory, or just if they see you, they want to kill you? Because
hippos are very territorial. If you come close to them, they will kill. But outside the water, they would
new series, Football Terrace, Animal Geographic watch along.
Listen, I want to thank you all for tuning in. This is going to redirect you to Husam's channel right now, so please all go across there and support him. Back tonight for match reactions for the Carabao Cup games. But until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and remember, avoid sharks in water. Peace.